the Royal Rumble 2025, and we'll start with the women's. There was a lot of competitors in there that I didn't think were going to be in there.
For sure, like we had some NXT, TNA superstars in there also, like Jordan Grace. I was happy to see her in there. I've seen a lot of her highlights. I'm a fan of hers. Got to see her wrestle in person one time also. She's very buff. It's just insane, and she has good wrestling skills too.
Is that the one I said was short?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she has a lot of muscles, but I realized when she was on the side of the ring, I'm like, oh man, she's not that tall.
No, but she's very buff, and the wrestling skills are good. I'm a fan of hers. Obviously Roxanne Perez coming in there, setting a record for the longest time in the Women's Royal Rumble match, putting an awesome performance in that match. Also, it's good for her being in NXT. Creating those moments while you're still on NXT is insane.
What do you think of Liv Morgan being number 2?
I thought that was surprising, honestly.
Because she almost stayed till almost the end.
Yeah.
And she got beat up a lot. Like every pretty much superstar that went in there, you go in there, then that person's dominant, and every time somebody came in, most of the time, I think she was in there. And of course they got her. They did the maneuver on her every time.
I know. Yeah. Liv Morgan did get beat up a lot in that match. Lasted a long time. She didn't get out. Like on this match, you also got to see some face-offs between NXT superstars and the main roster superstars.
Oh yeah, because there was a time where the 3 of them were on each side.
It's like one side, it's like the next generation who were going to change the future of the company, and then we had the current generations, face off each other.
Yeah, and I don't think EST has been there that long. Maybe like under 5 years, if I'm right. Io Sky the same way.
Yeah, Io Sky and Bianca. I think not even a 10-year mark yet. And NXT, all these are coming up. But all the superstars that are in there, of course, my favorite was Chelsea Green. Yeah,
in there because she's just so funny.
Creating some funny moments in that match also.
Yeah, because when she went in, she threw one person over, that person over, but none of them touched the ground. So they all came back and they just started
kicking her at the same time.
They start beating her up. And then she has those faces when she's like doing something, and then they're coming back at her. She's like, oh, and she starts like to run. So yeah, I was laughing with her. And then Piper was coming up. She said, "Piper, save me," or something. But then Piper is the one who kicked her out. Yeah,
that was crazy.
I thought that was funny though.
Obviously, and then we have, the finish of the match, which is we're not really surprised also by Charlotte winning.
Yeah, I was hoping they wouldn't do that, but they did. I'm like, why did they do it? It was so obvious that she was going to win.
Yeah, not much of a surprise there with that win. I'm just backtracking a little bit here. We got Alexa Bliss being back in their ring.
I was surprised.
We're shocked and excited for that also. With it also being, we got the Goddess back. When she was heard, she was coming back. I was like, I don't want no more Wyatt Six storyline or feud with her being a part of it. I wanted to see the Goddess back. That's the one I'm a fan of the most, and we got that. Obviously, with her jacket also, paying homage to the Fiend also in the back of the jacket.
Yeah, and now because she took off the jacket like you said and all that, and then she came with that teddy bear or whatever it was on that. Because in the pre-show, I saw a doll on the side, like somebody's waving it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about her. But
before, I think it was the week of, and not the week before, there was rumors saying that she was having problems with her contract, so likely she doesn't come back at all. By now, she's back. She's ready. Looks like she should be at Raw, actually, the reports are saying. So, good for her, finally be back here.
Yeah, I was excited to see her. I'm like, oh, yeah, she's coming back. And plus, she's thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always had these big thighs, but she thinned out. With most of I noticed the females that have babies and they come back, they're getting thin. Or they just left and come back.
Yeah, all the health problems she had in the past with their problems. And number 30, we have Nikki Bella, which is kind of a surprise also. We didn't really expect that one.
I didn't expect that one either. I thought she was like a little bit older, but still looked good. She came in.
it looks like she might be here to stay. She had a interview she had backstage. Like she said to stay tuned to see what's next for me.
Unless they're in constant contract negotiations, or she just liked it so much being back in the highlight, and coming back like, hey, I could do this again, which he can. I mean,
there is no problems with her in the Royal Rumble at all. It looked like there is no ring rust there. So obviously, either Raw or SmackDown, either way, we're gonna get hopefully some storylines with her coming up.
I just hope she doesn't try to be one of those like a mom with the hats and try to be young, because how they were doing it at the end, the Bella twins with their hat and all that. I'm like, no, it's not you. No, I mean, it's not your look. Like, don't stop that. But what do you think about Charlotte Flair with her number? What is she, like 27, 28?
I think the late 20s was her number to enter the Royal Rumble.
And then for her again to win this,
yeah, because it got down to Roxanne Perez and Nia Jax in the ring, in Charlotte, and within that moment, I already knew that there's no doubt that Charlotte's winning, and it was no surprise there. Now, with Charlotte winning, it's just before I said it was gonna be Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, but now it looks like we're actually the fans are saying it's gonna be Tiffany and Charlotte at WrestleMania. So I think we might go towards that direction here with Tiffany.
Yeah, because the other ones, we already seen EST with Charlotte. We already seen Rhea Ripley with Charlotte. We've seen this stuff. So the new one will be, like you said,
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton. I know I get mixed up with that one. So yeah, that will be the unique thing. But she's gonna beat her. She's gonna beat.
There's no doubt that she's
Charlotte Flair is gonna get her belt. She probably the first match Charlotte's gonna get it, because she always gets the belt right away. They always she comes in, here's the belt.
Yeah, no, it was like she returned on SmackDown and she won.
and then. And we're saying, like, if she's coming to Royal Rumble, well, she's gonna win, because like you said, nobody else has really saying I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble, the women. I'm going to do. I mean, yes, at the end you had Naomi, you had EST, you had Bayley. At the end, Liv Morgan. They're going to say they're going to win it, but before that, there really wasn't that push for them to do it.
Because normally we see a push. They push a wrestler to make it seem like they're going to win, like we've seen with Cody over the years. Or with or John this year.
Yeah, because the men had a lot of storylines who wanted part of their storyline was to win the Royal Rumble to get into WrestleMania. These other ones, I mean, EST is stuck in a tag team, thing right now, so I don't see her really going after it. I was hoping to see who's Seth Rollins' wife.
Becky Lynch.
I got you on that one too now. Becky Lynch. So I was hoping to see her come back, because I was really wanting her to come back already.
Yeah, she's been out for a while. It looks like she's doing some other things. Not really doing some other things also outside.
I know she was acting. She was going to be in Star Trek or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or Star Wars. I think Star Trek. So yeah, she's having some good things coming in her life, which is good. But I was just hoping that she will be back from all that.
Yeah. And now... Next match we had was that a 2-out-of-3 falls match with DIY and a Motor City Machine Guns, with DIY coming on top of that. It was a good match here and there. The crowd wasn't really feeling that match a lot, to be honest with you. The crowd was sad during that match. I
really wasn't either. I think I got up for a while on that match, because I'm like, I didn't really see it. I mean, they had their moments, but to me it was a filler.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes it's hard to get that good match with some tag teams. We just really big most of that match, and so it was kind of an okay match here.
Because they were lightweight, like cruiserweights or something.
Yeah.
They weren't even like middleweights or heavyweights that you want to see the dominance coming after them. I mean, these guys were just fast because they're so lightweight,
Yeah, they can create all these top rope or fast paced moves. But until DY came on top of that. But the next match we had was Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Now, that was a match of the night, I think, besides the men's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, because
we had so many moments in that match. It was just crazy.
Cody Rhodes, because we always say, like, why does Cody Rhodes always get beat up? It just one punch and, I'm down. Like, that's it. Like, he's gone. But on this one, I mean, he got ragdolled by Kevin Owens. He got thrown to the ladder. I don't know how many times he went to the ladder.
Oh, my God. We had a fisherman suplex off the top rope into a ladder from Cody Rhodes. There's a moment where they did that big move, and all these you saw all these like this med team come out and just like check on these wrestlers. It was like 5 of them, all the paramedics coming up with them to each of them.
Yeah, because when when Cody hit that ladder, like it was like the top of the ladder, it was laying down.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh man, that hurt my back just looking at that, and I could feel it. And like I said, Cody Rhodes was put through a lot of them. Yes, did Kevin Owens get the last big thing? I think he was probably out for a few seconds
because he didn't move.
He didn't move, and usually they land. Okay, I'm on my neck. Let me roll over. I didn't see him do that. He was there for a few seconds for a while.
It was just crazy.
Because I saw in slow motion when his head was going in, his head was all red. His head was red when he hit more. So all that blood was already going through there.
Yeah, and you saw when he got up at the end of the match, he was just face full of blood on his forehead and everything.
Yeah, we weren't too sure if there was a scratch right there or just the blood just going down that line right there.
Yeah, that match was really insane. Cody coming on top now. That's just an insane match here.
Now, did they have any press conference after all? Did they come out?
No.
Oh, that means they're probably hurt.
So we got news that Cody suffered multiple injuries in that match. And his status for wrestling is up in the air. So we don't know if he's a return to wrestling because he's really injured. So it's up in the air whether he can wrestle or not.
It's kind of like UFC when you get suspended. What suspended just means you need to go rest and then come back. Rest your body. They suspend you so you don't work out. You don't go and do stuff. That's why they suspend you in UFC, so you don't do any of that. So with the wrestling, yeah, he's probably need to recover, or unless he's going to come back on Friday. Maybe not wrestle, but just talk. So you got that week until SmackDown, then you got another week because you just talked.
Yeah.
So
I'm only surprised if both Kevin and Cody are going to take some few weeks off here. Because John Lewis is the same match you just have.
Yeah, especially with Kevin Owens at the end, that was a hard hit. Because I know that his head hit the foot, the step, and then it just like went right in there. Like there's not much room to pop your head back out. So he did get he did hit it pretty well.
Yeah,
did pretty good. But yeah, Cody came on top. After that, and which I'm glad he won, which I kind of figured he was going to win.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And he got his belts back. I guess that's it. He got his Saturday night belt, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you got your belt back. You didn't win a belt, but you just got it back. So any other thought about that one?
No, but next we have the men's Royal Rumble match. And I think that was by far the best men's Royal Rumble match we had in a long time, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. They had a lot of big names in there. That's why.
Even starting the match off with Rey Mysterio and Penta, two competitors who have the same wrestling style and can create a match alone. We had that for, I think 10 minutes, just them two, this wrestling, this craziness.
Yeah, that was pretty good because I was surprised. Like, wow, they got Rey Mysterio, and then I saw Penta. I'm like, wow, that's even better.
Yeah,
because
so really started off with a bang, and we saw Rey Mysterio and Penta do all these crazy moves. We had, I think, Penta go on top of Rey Mysterio's shoulders. He fell on a wrestler.
Yes,
I don't know if you saw that. Remember that? And then the match started getting good around number 15.
I was gonna say the same thing after the 15, halfway down.
That's when I think Roman got in the mix. But even before that, we had Joey Hendry into the mix. I was a fan of him. I'm a fan of him also. Big pop for him also. And then he had this short run in the ring. He got a lot pretty fast, I thought. But the crowd went crazy for him though.
So, but in this Royal Rumble, you had Drew McIntyre, you had CM Punk. You had Roman Reigns. You had John Cena in there. You had Damian Priest. All these heavy
Jey Uso. All in one ring.
Yes, exactly.
All in one ring.
And they're going after the title. Now, what was your response when you saw number 30 come out? Who did you think was going to be at first?
Brock.
Brock. And I was saying Randy Orton. But when number 30 came out, we both went, oh.
I was pretty disappointed by number 30.
So I'm like, no, like, I like Logan Paul, but that wasn't the big.
That
name.
wasn't the right spot for him.
Yeah, you could have been like number 8 or number 9 coming in to prove yourself to come back. You don't put yourself at number 30 just because you've been gone for a little while, you know. No. But anyways, they thought it was a big name. They thought it was, I'm talking about WWE. I was disappointed at number 30. But
yeah.
But I was kind of scared because he was one of the last ones, right? Last three. It was Logan Paul,
Jey Uso, and
John Cena.
Last 3.
So we're like, okay, one of these is going to do it. Yeah. And I did not want Logan Paul to win.
Now, when Roman entered, that's what I said before, and the match got good. Because then you had, the next few entrants, you had Finn Balor and then CM Punk and John Cena then enter the match. And I had you at the edge of your seat, too. Because, because with Jay winning now, with John not winning, I feel like people say it was a big upset, but was it really a big upset though? No, I don't really think so.
It was not.
Because Jay also deserved that match also.
But did you notice, because you mentioned Finn Balor, did you notice when Finn Balor came in, he kind of just stood around? Like, who is he going to dominate at that time when all these heavy hitters are in there?
Yeah.
You know, he tried, but I'm just saying, I was just so funny because he stood there waiting like, wait, what do I do? I think maybe Jimmy came up to him or something, but I found that so funny there.
We had I think it was one return, which was
AJ Styles. That was a good entrance.
And they brought back his old theme.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
You want no name, no whatever. But yeah, I was kind of happy on that one. I was excited and I'm like, yes, he's returned. And he did good. I mean, I thought he did good in there. Yeah,
honestly, he did. Now he's back with Jay winning. I feel like either way, we have a good matchup here. With either if it's Cody or Gunther. But I would say Jay we need to pick Gunther because we've seen Gunther, Jay versus Gunther multiple times, but each time Jay has lost to Gunther. So with Jay facing Gunther at WrestleMania and winning, that's also a big moment for him also to finally beat Gunther.
Yeah, I mean that'll be good. But what about when Braun Strowman came in? How did he redeem himself from Jacob Fatu?
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, I'm like, man, this boy better do something coming in here, you know, to for that way Jacob Fatu left him. Embarrassing. Even though we were live at the show, and I'm like, oh man, I remember seeing it on TV. You're like, we were there. I'm like, oh shoot, I don't remember that. It wasn't even a week.
Yeah, no, I mean, Braun is throwing Jacob Fatu out of the ring. You know, getting his revenge, finally getting his revenge after a week later.
Yeah, which I was pretty happy about to see that.
Now, what were your thoughts on Speed, that streamer that came in the ring?
Oh.
I know you don't know who he is, but I know who he is. Yeah. I followed him up for a while. He said this
they said it was his second Royal Rumble.
He came in, I think it was his first Royal Rumble.
Okay, I kind of heard an announcer saying second. I'm like, second?
He made appearances before at a WrestleMania.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's probably what they were talking about.
What were your thoughts on him entering the Royal Rumble? and getting speared by Braun? Because that was just a crazy spear that he got.
Yeah, and I'm like, I was just curious to see what happens. I was just like, okay, well, let's see what's going to happen here. I didn't think he was going to do any wrestling moves or anything.
No.
All he did was just like try to throw somebody out, but.
But that spear by Braun, he did a flip. Braun comes in at like just 20 miles an hour and just spears him into next week. It's crazy.
And then when he threw him out.
I think Jacob Fatu caught him and threw him over.
Was it? Oh no, it wasn't Jacob Fatu.
Or was it? Who was it?
Or was it him?
I think it was Jacob Fatu.
No, you're right. It was Jacob Fatu that threw him out, and just threw him over. Like, man, get out of here! Don't even try it. I was like, man, they put a little explanation point on him on that one.
Yeah, for me, it was just like that spear was just crazy. But we had this great, this match here. Obviously, we did get some news after the match. I'm clearing my phone real quick.
I mean, but we're still missing some other names, and of course there was 30 people like Sheamus. Sheamus did some good stuff in there, and then who was Gunther's person that came in there?
Ludwig
Kaiser. He was there for a short time.
Yeah.
In there, but I like what Sheamus did. He did some stuff, and even like some new guy that was there, or it was a guy from TNA. Like, what is he? Like, who is this guy here? Why is he here?
Sheamus was clapping.
He's like, what? Like, but yeah, there was a lot. It was a good. This was one of the best Royal Rumbles that I've seen because of all the heavy hitters that were in there.
I know that ring was just filled with so many just big names all at once.
So if you were there, you saw this. This was pretty good.
Now, after the match, so we did get some news. Like Drew McIntyre came in storming backstage, pretty upset that he was saying, screaming and cursing that someone had to get their moves in at the expense of a number of stories in the match. I think because we're just saying he was trying to get himself over in the match, and it didn't really happen. So he was pretty upset about it. And then we knew that John Cena will be entering the chamber coming up.
Elimination Chamber?
In the chamber. In February 1st.
To try to get his spot back because he wants to try to win a belt.
No. I think for sure he's the win the chamber. And there's no doubt about it. Since he didn't win a Rumble. So I think he's going to win that and probably go to WrestleMania. And get that, I think it was a 17-time champion.
Okay. So how does John Cena, a legend, been there so long, all right? He was there during the Attitude Era, but of course he was on the sidelines, still trying to make his mark. But how does this guy don't get his 17th belt? You know what I mean? Like winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But Charlotte Flair could come in writing on her name, her dad's name, and then just wins the Royal Rumble. How was this fair?
Yeah, because Charlotte Flair alone is like more than a 10-time champion already. Within a short time.
But a lot of these titles are just given to her.
Yeah.
She takes a break, she comes back, here's your belt. Takes a break, comes back, here's your belt.
And that's why she has so many titles under her belt. Because they're handed to her.
That's all they are. And then she comes back, wins the Royal Rumble. That way we didn't say we gave you the belt, but your next match, you could go ahead and win that one. I don't get it. Which is, I'm glad John Cena didn't take the easy way out compared to Charlotte Flair, but I don't know. I don't work there. I'm not the storyline person. You may have the same idea I do.
Yeah. But no doubt John is winning chamber. I think that's what happened for sure.
Well, he backs up what he says a lot, so yeah. I believe that.
But I think that's it for this podcast, though. So,
all right.
See you next time.